Hey, I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I'm here to talk a little bit more about my thought process and shit like that. So, yeah, my thought process. Keep in mind that I'm not a professional, a clinician, or anything like that. So, with all that being said, I wanted to discuss, I guess, more about like why essentially I think that the world's a piece of shit. Because none of it makes any fucking sense. I mean, I know people say that as you go through life, the good times, are from an understanding of the bad times and like vice versa. We wouldn't know what bad is without good or what good is without bad. But I don't know. I think to me it just makes so little fucking sense that like one has to dominate like more than the other. And I don't know. I guess 9 times out of 10 negative experiences have more of an impact on somebody. I mean, unless you're like a delusional fucking optimist or like whatever. But it's like it's incoherent and nonsensical to me that people are like, "Okay, appreciate the good because you know just how terrible life is." When I think of how the world works in that regard where okay, there are like ups and downs, like it's like I can't even fathom that. It doesn't even like make any fucking sense to me because there has to be something that has like way more power. And I think because we can all acknowledge bad times, even though like what I said, there are a lot of you delusional fucking like optimists out there, negativity seems to be the one that like reigns supreme in terms of like its presence, I guess. That literally sounds like cope to me when people are like, okay, you know how good something is just because of like these bad times, when I'm just like, okay, there are only bad times. Why are we clinging onto life desperately just for like a minuscule amount of something that's like satisfactory up until we just live our literally bland, monotone, mundane, and stupid existence where we have to, I guess, just I don't know, wait on standby for something to happen to us, I guess. And I know you motherfuckers are gonna be like, oh my gosh, do something, get out there to like make your life fucking exciting or like whatever. But like that's a load of crap and that's a sham as well. Because why do so many people have this like delusional take where they want to be somebody that, let's say, like makes a change or like makes some sort of like effort, when it's like we've seen throughout generations and centuries that like majority of people are not even like fucking remembered or are not even gonna like amount to fucking like anything. Like so many people in this world, like billions and billions of people, and you don't even know them. Nobody, like, nobody hardly knows like anybody, and we can go from that presumably most people just live like these ordinary average lives. Like when you go to a cemetery, you're there for somebody that specifically died, that you personally think, you know, had a good like, you know, impact on your life, let's say. That's why like you're visiting like their grave or like whatever. When it's like there's so many gravestones there that you don't care about, obviously, because you're going to the ones that like, you do care about. And it's just like, why are we all pretending like we have like lives worth saying? Like why are it's so weird because we exist in a world where people are like, okay, be humble, but then everybody's trying to make you participate in this like stupid fucking like popularity contest or whatever. And they're like, oh my gosh, make it, quote unquote, whatever the fuck that means, or like express your will, quote unquote, but don't express it this way because maybe that's narcissistic, maybe that's, oh, being too full of yourself, whatever. And I'm just like, it's so stupid, bro. And we exist in a reality where there are so many different ideas and thoughts, and it's like, everybody's gonna butt heads at one point. So it's just like, who who's controlling the narrative? That's the only thing. So it's like when I feel like when you look at this world objectively and like realistically, is that like it is literally so miserable. Like there is no good times contrasting the bad times contrasting like the good times. It's literally all just bad, because what we're doing here is literally just like fucking cope. And it's like people are going to be like, oh, it's such like black and white thinking or something like that. But I mean, it's just like, well, at some point, when is it just me having black and white thinking versus you just like making like stupid shit up? Because like, we're all going to die. So throughout this life, we just make stupid shit up, whether it's to ourselves or whether it's to like other people. And it's like, we could die at any moment. We could commit suicide or we could just wait. But it's like, we're just going to die. And you know what? It's just this like waiting period. I feel like when you realistically think about it, of like fucking boredom, but like because most people are, like cataloged in their like narratives that they've been taught ever since they've like, grown up or whatever, or whatever new cope that they discover, quote unquote, like they just coast through that. And it's like, okay, we're coping. But then I feel like if you were to think about it realistically even more, it's just like coping doesn't even work, but we're just slaves to doing it anyway. So, um, it's just, I don't even know what to say, because I feel like the more I think about things, the more I hear other people, the more I listen to things. It's just like language is not even real at this point. It's just useless noise. Like animals make noise, and we don't necessarily know what we're saying, but it's like we have to deal with our voices like 24/7. And when you realize that you're actually kind of just like an animal, like everything else, it's just like these words might as well just be, as nonsensical as like hearing like monkeys make sounds that you kind of just dismiss, or maybe you kind of just like, whatever, or like, dogs barking and you don't really know what they're barking at, and you're just like, why the fuck are you barking? And then it kind of just makes me think, like, why are we even saying this? Just because we've been programmed to say it? Just because this is the only means that we know in which and how to speak and like communicate? But it's just like, it's like it's like a false script, bro. It's like a script that everybody carries, but we're given the illusion that like we get to make something, even though like no, it's just, it's whatever.